Hello everyone. Thank you for joining my live. Thank you to all who will be tuning in on the replay. I wanted to come on and talk to you guys today about the gifting experience for your bridesmaids and groomsmen. Hope that you're having a really awesome Friday, and that it's turned out to be an incredible week for you. But as people come in, I want to ask this question. Have you thought about your gifting experience that you want to give your bridesmaids and groomsmen? Yes or no? Just let me know in the comments whether or not you've thought about what the experience will be for them. And while you do that, let me introduce myself. My name is Amy Cole. I'm a personal gift consultant and owner of Creatively Memorable, a gift concierge that helps engage couples create bridesmaids and groomsmen gifts that are beautifully presented for a meaningful and memorable gifting experience. So today, like I said, we're going to talk about the experience you want to create for your bridesmaids and your groomsmen. And I believe that there are three primary experiences that bridesmaids and groomsmen have when they receive their gifts. The first one is forgettable. Now, I know this is not something that we're striving for, but this is one where the bridesmaids they receive this gift and they cannot remember to save their lives what they got in that gift. Partly because they've probably gotten rid of some of it, but they can't remember. And that one is forgettable. The next experience is just okay. That's where the experience that they have when they receive the gift is not that good and it's not that bad either. It's somewhere in the middle. But the third one is something that I know that everyone is striving for, and that's unforgettable. And that is where when the bridesmaids and the groomsmen, they experience surprise and delight in that whole process when you give them the gifts. Now, my gifting experience as a bride, I gave my bridesmaids and groomsmen gifts, but my gifting experience was forgettable. That's right, I said forgettable. And I bet if you ask anybody who was in my wedding party, specifically the bridal party, if you ask any of them what they got the day of my wedding, they probably couldn't tell you. Matter of fact, they couldn't tell you. I know because I asked them. They only remember that there was jewelry in the box, and no one remembered anything else that was in that box. So that is not the gifting experience that we are shooting for. Definitely not. Now, that next experience, that's just okay. I have given and received gifts as a bridesmaid that were just as a bride and a bridesmaid that were just okay. Well, my gifts as a bride were to my wedding party were forgettable, but the ones that I'm talking about that were just okay, those were gifts that I've given to anybody, just any gifting experience. Those gifts that you give or receive that are just okay, meaning that there was a little thought put into it, and you can tell that when you receive the gift, right? And when you come across it again, you might remember who gave it to you, and it might be useful every once in a while. So in those cases, the gift it's just okay, and the experience around it is just okay, but you weren't wowed by it. And so you may or may not forget about it, depending on what it was. We're not shooting for that one either, but sometimes we land in that position because we haven't put a lot of thought into, we put some thought into the process, the gift, we put some thought into the gift, but maybe we're not thinking as a whole about the entire experience, right? So as a bridesmaid, I can see that that's probably what happened in those instances where I got gifts that were okay. And I have received some things as a bridesmaid that I was like, oh, I never thought about this. I wasn't wowed by it, but it had some usefulness to me at that time. So again, that's not really what we're striving for. We kind of land in that position maybe because we didn't think through the entire experience around the gifting. Now, that last experience, that unforgettable experience, I know that there are, as a bride and groom, I know that you want to make that gifting experience unforgettable for your bridesmaids and groomsmen. So how do you do that? For me, it starts with this. I know, I believe that the gifting is unforgettable for both the giver and the receiver. I believe that wholeheartedly. And what that is, it means that you're putting in a lot of thought about how you as the giver want to experience the gifting, and how the person as the receiver will experience the gifting, right? You put in some thought into that. So it's meaningful for everyone who is involved in the gifting. And you're not just taking what you've seen other brides and grooms do and recycling that and giving it to your wedding party. You are, it takes more than that to make it unforgettable. You must put some thought into when and where you want to gift your bridesmaids and groomsmen. The gift itself is only one part of the process of the entire experience, but when and where you gift your bridesmaids and groomsmen definitely plays an important role in how they experience the gifting, right? What is the atmosphere? Are you doing a proposal? Do you think through the details of how you want the proposal to go? How do you want them to feel in the setting? So it takes a lot of thought to create an unforgettable experience for them. And if you're not doing a proposal and you're not setting up a dinner for them, you, in the gift itself, you can create an experience. Say you're not there with them and you're mailing this package or this gift to them, then you can create a gift that is for them. Remember, I said you're not taking the what other brides and grooms have done and recycling that for your bridesmaids and groomsmen. You're creating something you're creating a gift that is for them. So you may be tempted, and I've seen this a lot, you may be tempted to give them things that say bridesmaids and groomsmen, etc., right? But that's just a role. And that role is not who they are. So you want to make the gift for them as individuals, not necessarily for the role that they play, just the role that they play in your wedding. The gift should have some meaning to them as a person, like who they are, their relationship with you. It should have some meaning around that, rather than just the role that they're playing in your wedding. Now, don't get me wrong, the role they're playing is very important, but when it comes to the gifting, you want to make sure that your gift has some reflection of, who they are as a person, or who you all are as a collective, and I talk about that, I think, in my last video, so you can go back and see how I talk about how to create gifts that are more personalized to your bridesmaids and groomsmen as a whole. But you want to create something that is representative of the person and your relationship with them. Now, that is not to say that you can't give them anything that goes with the day, with your wedding, but make sure you have something that is tailored to them, something that they can use afterwards, something for them, right? And the last thing I believe you can do to make the gifting experience unforgettable is to make it special and have a beautiful presentation, right? Make it pretty for them. People definitely like seeing their names. Aesthetics also makes a big difference. That beautiful presentation, the colors, and I close my eyes and I think about how I've seen some gifts being laid out, like how things are laid out in the gift. Hey, Kanisha, thank you for sharing. Thank you for dropping by as well. But yeah, just thinking about how a gift is laid out, the colors, the note that's in there, there are a lot of things that you can consider to make a beautiful gift presentation. And I also talk about that, I believe, if it's not the last video, it's the one before that. So if you haven't checked out the last few videos, definitely go back and watch those, because I talk about things that are things that help you create this experience that we're talking about today. So yeah, that was the last thing I think that will help you make those your gifting experience for your bridesmaids and groomsmen unforgettable. You don't want to be like me, giving them a forgettable gifting experience. So I want to make sure that I give you all the tips that I have learned. So yeah, that is all that I have for you all today. I hope this information is helpful to you in some way. If it is, please give thumbs up, hearts, share, start a watch party. If you know any brides and grooms or engaged couples, please get this information over to them. You can tag them and so that they can see it, and I am happy to reach out to them to see if they need my assistance with any of their gifting needs. Yeah, if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and I'll be sure to get back with you. You can even send me a DM and I'll be sure to respond to you to answer any questions that you have if you don't want to leave them in the comments. But thank you so much for joining my live. You're watching the replay. Say hello in the comments so that I know that you stopped by. Again, that's all that I have for you guys today. Until next time, happy gifting and many blessings.